Hi everyone. So today we're going to go over 5 rules for creating engaging content on your social media pages. So that can be on Facebook, that can be on Twitter. This presentation will go over a few different platforms for you, and each rule can apply to any platform that you decide to use. So this presentation is actually adapted from a presentation I did at a conference, so I will be skipping over a few slides for time's sake, but all of the rules will have examples with them that you should be able to find extremely helpful for you. So jumping into the first rule is content needs to relate. So especially within higher education, your content needs to relate to your audience, which is students. So the first example I have is from Brisk, which from our previous presentation, you know that I love Brisk, and I told you to follow Brisk on Facebook, and this is why. So they created this post with iced tea, an iPhone, a wallet, Metro card, and they said, "What do you have to take with you when you're leaving the house?" It's clear that their content is relating to their audience, which seems to be the city folk commuters, um, and as you can see, they got a lot of engagement. 561 people liked it. There were even more comments. There were some shares. So with Rutgers Recreation, what I try to do is recreate this, but make it relate to students. Obviously, this picture wouldn't really be a hit with students because it doesn't relate to them. So what did I do? I related it to them by putting a coffee cup from a popular coffee shop on campus, putting a lanyard that says Rutgers on it, student ID, phone with headphones, and a notebook. And the caption was necessities for studying before finals tomorrow. What are yours? And you can see we got a few shares, a few likes, a few comments. So good engagement all around. And that was because we are trying to create content that relates to students. The second rule is to jump into the conversation. So as I had talked about with Twitter, finding who's talking about you and engaging conversations is a key piece. So this is an example here of a student who was talking about a rec class that we offer, and we were able to jump into that conversation, and without pushing him and being like, whoa, register here, we just said, here's a clip from last week. That pushed him to sign up and for that class without us even having to say anything about that. The third rule, it's not all about you. So as much as you want to use social media to promote your events and programs, and you really want students to get out there, in order to get them to those events, you have to make sure that you're not being too pushy and you're not only promoting about yourself on your pages. So here's another example from Rec. Again, this has nothing to do with recreation, nothing to do with a program or event that they offer. It's just a funny little picture. It says, when you dream, dream big. And people liked it, shared it, and commented on it. So once you start posting things that have nothing to do with you, you'll get more engagement, and therefore more people will talk about you and be like, well, what do they have to offer? And go on your website or message you about it, and then therefore more people will be coming to your events and programs. The next rule is be accessible to enhance relationships. So just like we said that you should be engaging in conversations on Twitter, another key piece of that and another reason to do that is to show your audience that you're accessible. Here's an example. Greg here tweeted that the music at one of our gyms is just awful. And we tweeted back, what do they play? What would you like to hear? We're always open to feedback. And so he tweeted back to us and said, anything but the same old house songs every day. We told him that we would keep that in mind and pass it along. So now we've created a relationship with Greg. He knows now that we are accessible to feedback, and whether that's good or bad, that we will respond to it. And therefore, that just kind of builds that relationship with a student online that will probably transcend into an in-person relationship as well. He might feel now that a little bit more comfortable going into the facility and speaking to someone in person, but if not, he knows that he can reach someone online as well. And the last rule is know your trends. So, like I had previously talked about, you want to be on top of the cultural trends that are happening at the moment. They change all the time, which is why it might be a good idea to hire a student employee whose sole job will be to help you with your social media and being on top of trends. So an example of that is different memes that have been coming up, and there's probably new memes like every other month. Um, this is one and a meme that's been popular, and usually there's a different animal doing something different, but the text is usually the same. Another popular meme is this T-Rex, and usually, obviously, the text is always different, but you can make your own memes online, and basically humor goes a long way, which, I talked about in our last screencast as well. And here's another example. Brisk, again, said, "It's October 3rd, bring out the mean brisks." And on Wednesdays we wear pink, and they took that picture themselves and captioned it. And basically, it's a trend, it's from Mean Girls. So again, you want to stay on top of these things. You want to know your movie quotes and create this kind of content that students will be able to relate to. And once you're able to incorporate all of these rules, you will grow your relationships online, and you will see an increase in followership, and you'll be able to realize that connecting is what equals more followers. Everyone wants more followers. Well, incorporate these 5 rules and you will be able to get them. Please let me know if you have any questions at all, or if you want any more details on any of these rules. Thanks, everyone.